it's time for Vance to show up and maybe do some final, wrap up here. Yes, please.
Let's see. I don't know. We can do a collective wrap up. I think I'm intrigued by a couple of points that were made that I don't know if they were really fleshed out. I might like to get George's opinion or for further aspects, further insights on these aspects. But the two things I was thinking about. Well, first of all, you call this desensitizing. So that is resensitizing in a way, I suppose, resensitizing them to social issues. That's interesting. Also, in the zeitgeist in which we live, we are constantly at a distance. Even people at the same table are commonly seen, well, in their own little worlds, not interacting with one another, but certainly they are intensively interacting. This is a very interesting. I don't know if that pulls us together. The fact that we are here, the four of us in different parts of the world, would not meet if it weren't for this technology. And we do interact and relate to one another, and our worlds are altered by it, of course, expanded. So that's the second thing. The third thing that came to me was the idea of video games. I'm quite interested in video games myself, especially Minecraft, but this raises the literature, or the things that my colleagues and I have been writing, delve into the utility of video games to reach students whom you might want to resensitize. So I'm just wondering, especially if video games could be a part of what you are doing with your students. What we've seen, you're having them put their own personalities and language into existing videos. But I just wonder if they're interested in games, or if there's something you can do with video games that might make them more interested in, because certainly in Minecraft, for example, you can set up scenarios in Minecraft where you would make people aware of social issues. And there are other video games, I'm sure, that would accomplish that. So that's a lot of things to mention, but we do have 5 minutes if you would like to talk on those lines.
Go back with to being isolated. Yes, this kind of technology helps people who are in a distance communicate. You see, teenagers chatting with each other, which is, I think it's great. I mean, some people would say it degrades the language. I don't think that's the case. Each generation develops their own way of communicating. The problem is, this is, in my opinion, just a fraction of what's going on. I see from younger children, for example, my niece, my nephews, they just are stuck on a screen. They watch maybe YouTube videos, things like that, and they don't really communicate. So the part that it allows us to communicate with others, it is happening. It's a very good thing, but it's only, in my opinion, it's very little. Now, about the video games, I know people who use video games in their teaching, but unfortunately myself, I'm not really familiar. Back in my day, the only games I played were like simulation games and things like that. I wouldn't know how to use games to promote similar things. But I do know films, and I do know how to produce videos. So this is what I'm doing. I'm sure what you say is, yeah, it can be done, but it's really beyond anything that I haven't really